Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. Today I'm going to attempt to make a bread that we have at a restaurant that we like to go to sometimes. I've recreated their deep fried asparagus, and they used to do the pumpernickel bread that they brought to your table, but since the last time we went they changed it. We love it, and we asked them what kind it was, and they said it was honey wheat. So I'm going to try to recreate that. So just in my small saucepan over medium heat, I have 1 cup of water. I'm going to add 1 cup of milk. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of honey. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and I use kosher salt. Alright, we don't want this to boil or anything. We just want to heat it up and until the butter melts, because you don't want to get it too hot because it'll kill your yeast, but you want to get it hot enough to activate the yeast. So when the butter gets melted, I'm going to take this off the heat and let it cool down to around 90 degrees. If you find that your milk and water starts to bubble, you can always remove it from the heat and just let the residual heat in there melt your butter. And that's what I'm going to do with mine. In my stand-up mixer, I'm going to take 3 cups of bread flour. And then we're going to need around 2, maybe 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, but we're not going to add that in just yet. And I'm going to add 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. I get mine off of Amazon, the SAF, and mine's instant, so I don't have to proof it. 2.5 teaspoons. And I'm going to give that a little mix. Okay, and to tell that my liquid mixture has cooled enough, I just take my pinky finger, about like testing a baby's bottle too, and I can stick it down in there and it doesn't burn. It's just lukewarm. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. And I'm going to start mixing this on stir and start incorporating my liquid. Okay, and I'm making a mess. I'm just going to do it this way. It was running all down the side and everything. I'm going to let that mix in a little bit, and then we'll start adding our whole wheat flour to it. Knock some of it down off the sides. Alright, my bread flour is mixed in. So now I'm going to start adding my whole wheat flour with this on low, 1/2 cup at a time. And once that 1/2 cup gets in there and gets incorporated and mixes a little bit, if it needs more, I'll continue to add more. And it depends on what kind of day you're having. We're having a rainy, cloudy day here, so I might not need as much, or I might need a lot. So 1/2 cup at a time. Alright, that 1/2 cup's good and mixed in, but I can already tell I'm going to need another 1/2 cup, so that's roughly 1 cup I've added so far. We don't want this mixture to be dry. We still want it to be slightly sticky, but I'm going to let this other 1/2 cup mix in real good, and then we'll go from there and keep testing it, but I'll bring you back. Okay, weigh that last addition of the other half cup. I've got 1 cup in there total. We want to give the flour time to absorb some of the liquid, so I'm not going to look at this and say, oh yeah, wet, and add some more and then add too much. I'm going to let this mix for a couple of minutes and we'll see where we're at then. Okay, I let that mix for a couple of minutes, and as you can tell, I'm going to need to add another half cup. And as you can tell, I'm not measuring real accurate. I have 1 cup measuring, just estimating a half a cup. But so far I've added around 1.5 cups, and I'm going to let this all get mixed in and let it go a couple of more minutes, and then we'll see where we're at. I know my mixer sounds funny, but I just want to show you. See how that looks like that might be enough? I know the lighting's not good and it looks kind of like it may be a little dry. That's why we want to let it mix for several minutes to see. And you see the consistency now. I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes and we'll see the consistency then. Alright, as it was mixing, it came around, it cleaned off the sides, it picked everything up, and I thought, well, this may be coming together. But then as it mixes and the flour starts absorbing the liquid, then it gets more sticky. And this is still sticking. So I'm not going to add a half a cup this time. I'm going to add around 1/4 cup and do the same thing. Alright, I don't know if you can see down in here real good, but it's cleaned off the sides. It's not really sticky anymore, just slightly tacky, and you want it to be slightly tacky. See, I'm pressing my finger on there. So now I'm going to turn my mixer up on medium and let this go for about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. And with very clean hands, I'm going to take my dough out and kind of bring it together on my table that is clean. And if I need to add just a little dusting of flour, I'm going to add just a little bit of bread flour. Just a little dusting, kind of lightly dust my hands. And see, it's still a little bit sticky, but that's okay. Just lightly flour your hands. And we're going to bring it toward us, push it back out, turn it, bring it toward us, push it back out. We don't need to do this much because we've worked it in the mixer. And it's coming together nicely. It springs back. So now in my large bowl, I have a little bit of light oil in here. Gonna make sure it's all the sides have some oil on it. Put it in upside down, give it a swirl, turn it around, give it a swirl, and now you want to cover it and put it in a warm place, draft free preferably, to let it double in size. It might take an hour, but I'm going to just put mine in the oven with the oven light on. The oven is not on, just the oven light. And I'll bring you back when it's doubled in size. Alright, it's been an hour and look how beautiful that my dough has risen. So now I'm going to punch it down, deflate it, turn it out on my clean table, and I have some little loaf pans. I'm going to put, I'm going to actually do 2 little loaf pans, and then I have a cookie sheet that I'm going to do a free-form loaf. put some little slits in it now. There. Back in my oven it goes with only the oven light on. I'll bring you back when this is doubled. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes and my bread has risen beautifully. And ignore my dirty oven. So now I'm going to take it out of the oven. I'm going to be very careful because we don't want to deflate it. And I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. And then I'm going to bake them on the center rack till they're done. 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'll let you know. Alright, my bread took 14 minutes. But your bread might take longer. It might take shorter. It sounds hollow when you tap it. So I'm going to take them off the pan, put them on a rack, and let them cool. And then I'll be back when it's time to try them. Okay, my bread has totally cooled. And again, I'm sorry for the lighting. But I'll try to cut this where you can see it too. It looks perfect to me. It's nice and soft on the inside. The crust is even soft. So I'm going to try a bite. Very good. Very, very good. And the loaf, I'm not going to cut into those. I'm just going to put them in some bread bags. But again, thanks for watching as I attempt to make this honey wheat bread that we get at a restaurant that we like to go to occasionally. Please give me a like if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I want to thank all of my subscribers and all of my new subscribers. You are all awesome. And until the next video, I hope you enjoy. Bye, y'all.